topic done?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Complex permanent tissue was going on
so how much we have done?
till, ma'am, we have discussed first part xylem and we
Ah,
discuss all the parts of xylem till xylem fiber.
so what is xylem? Tell me, Archie. If my question is given that what is xylem, so what you will say? Archie, quickly say, what is xylem? That only the question will be asked in the exam. What is xylem? Who can answer? Anshodri, can you answer? What is xylem?
I
Pranav
don't
Prakash.
know.
Acha, Pranav Prakash. Sorry, my question to you. What is xylem? Pranav Prakash, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So speak up. What is xylem?
Ma'am, xylem is the vascular tissue which transports waters and minerals throughout the plant.
Okay. So everyone remember you have to say that xylem is a complex permanent tissue which is a vascular tissue helping in the conduction of the water and minerals. Okay. Now can Pranav tell me that what are the xylary elements?
Ma'am, actually we
What
have
are
not discussed this part.
Yes,
names
ma'am.
also you have not written. Names तो लिखे थे.
Ma'am,
मैम
only
आपने
the
सिर्फ फिगर्स और
components
नेम्स
of
बताए थे.
xylem.
तो बस
Yes,
नेम ही तो
ma'am.
पूछ रहे. I am asking just the names. Okay, just the names I want.
Tracheids and
Which?
vessels.
हाँ, very good. And which other? Two.
Xylem
जाइलम पेरेंकाइमा एंड
parenchyma
जाइलम
and
फाइबर्स.
xylem
Xylem
fiber.
fibers.
हाँ, very good. बस ये याद रखना. These are known as xylary elements. Remember, children, the xylem tissue, we call it a complex permanent tissue because this is made up of four different types of the cells. Otherwise, in a tissue, the simple permanent tissue, we have seen that the tissue is made up of only one type of cells. But in the complex permanent tissues, that is xylem and phloem, they are not made up of only one type of cells, they are made up of four different types of cells. So when we take up the xylem tissue, we find that it is made up of the tracheids, the vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. So all of you all can open the notebook and quickly we'll try to finish up the xylem and the phloem. Okay, so write down today's date and write down the next, that is the xylary elements. We'll take up tracheids. So you all have drawn the diagram also last period? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am.
So see that diagram which is there in front of you. The tracheids you all have made pointed. Okay, so first point now we will take up. I'm taking up the notepad, children. So we start with the xylary elements. So what are xylary elements? That is those cells which make up the xylem. So number one, tracheids. Write it quickly. They are. I want to show you the picture, the game that scene. Tracheates, write down, they are thin tube-like structures with tapering ends. With tapering ends. And placed one above the other. Placed one above the other. So try to understand, children, the figure which you have drawn last time. Try to see that figure. You'll have seen that they are the tube-like structure, but they have the tapering ends. So they are placed one above the other. They'll form a continuous tube-like structure. Then, function of the tracheates, they help in the transport of water and minerals. You can write down the function. So what is the function of the tracheates? Transport water and minerals. Now the other one. Now try to see the structure of the vessels. What type of the structure you are finding in the vessels, children, in comparison when you see the tracheates? Say soon, children.
They are large in diameter.
Large in diameter, very good. Okay, what else you are seeing?
They have perforations on them.
Very good. Perforations है लेकिन वो ना thickenings है. ठीक है. Then apart from that, what else?
They are long.
Long. Okay. One very important thing you are not noticing in the figure. Try to see that. They are cylindrical. Okay. They are cylindrical. So they do not have the tapering ends, children. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, and they are bigger, they are larger in size. So they are cylindrical, placed one above the other. Placed so they will also form a continuous tube-like structure, one above the other. Okay, एक के ऊपर एक जब वो cylindrical structures, that is the cylindrical cells will be placed, so they will form a continuous, tube-like structure. So what is the function? So same function they perform, that is they help in transport of water and minerals. Okay, now the other one is xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. So children, xylem parenchyma have got the same structure as the other parenchyma which we have studied. But since they are associated with the tracheates and vessels, or they are associated with the xylem tissue, we are calling this parenchyma tissue as the xylem parenchyma. But they will have the same features. Can anyone tell me what are the features of the parenchyma?
Large storage of food.
Not the
It is
functional
made up
features.
of living cells.
Made up
They
of
have thin cell wall made up
They
of
have
cellulose.
intercellular spaces and large vacuoles.
large vacuole. So the same structure you will find of these parenchymas. which are associated with the tracheids and vessels. Okay, so here they will help in the same process, that is storage of the food. Okay, so you can write down, they help in storage of food. They help in storage of food. And the fourth element, that is your xylem fibers. We also call it as sclerenchyma, xylem sclerenchyma. So these xylem sclerenchyma, they are the fibers. So they are elongated, thin, and sclerenchyma. What is the important property or feature of the sclerenchyma?
To provide mechanical strength.
Mechanical strength.
Support.
Why they are able to give the mechanical strength or mechanical support?
Because they are dead cells.
One apart from this, one more property, because
They
they
have
are
thick walls.
And
They
because
have
they are
thick
long
cell
and
walls.
thick.
they have
Thick cell walls.
Okay, so because they are dead, they have the thick cell wall. That is why they are hard. Okay, they are hard and stiff. So now in this xylem tissue, the xylem fibers are doing the same work. They are providing mechanical support. What do they do? Provide mechanical support. Understood, everyone? So all of you all have noted what are the xylem elements? What are
Yes,
the,
ma'am.
what are xylem elements? Can someone else name?
Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma.
Okay, so xylem fibers will help in providing the strength to the xylem tissue or the mechanical support. Now we will start with another complex permanent tissue, that is phloem.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, would you please xylem parenchyma?
sorry. Yes, yes.
Xylem parenchyma.
Xylem parenchyma, they are the parenchymatous tissues. You can write down. They are parenchymatous tissues parenchyma tissue associated with tracheids and vessels. Tracheids and vessels. And help in storage of food. Help in storage of food. Understood, everyone? Noted, all of you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So each and every student has to note down, because I will give the question at the end, that describe the structural components of the xylem tissue. So describe the structure of xylem tissue. So xylem tissue consists of 4 elements. They are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. You all have drawn the diagram in the previous period, and the figure is given in the book also, children. So in this answer, you will draw that figure. The answer should be supported by that figure of the xylem tissue, which is given in the textbook. Now we will take up the next permanent, that is a complex permanent tissue, which is phloem. So phloem, what is the function? So remember, children, just I'm taking up to the xylem once again. The 4 elements are there in the xylem, लेकिन जो 2 elements functioning में help करते हैं, that is the transport of the water and minerals, they are these 2. that is your tracheids and the vessels. Parenchyma and the xylem fiber, they are the supporting elements. Parenchyma helping in storage of the food, and the xylem fibers will help give the strength to the vascular tissue, that is the xylem. Now we take up the phloem. So phloem is made up of other elements. So what are those elements of the phloem tissue? They are sieve tubes. They are sieve tubes. So note down number 1. Keep numbering, children. So what are the 4 elements of the phloem tissue? They are sieve tubes. Then second, write down companion cells. So write it, then I will show you the video. Companion cells. Then third one, the same, that is parenchyma. Now since the parenchyma is associated here, that is with the phloem tissue, so we will call that parenchyma as phloem parenchyma. And the fourth one, again the same, that is the sclerenchyma associated with it. So what you will call, children? What you will call it?
Phloem
Phloem
fiber.
fibers.
Fibers.
Phloem fibers or phloem sclerenchyma. तो जो काम वहां पर कर रहे थे parenchyma और fibers, the same work they will do when they are associated with the phloem tissue. And which elements of the phloem tissue? That is the sieve tubes and the companion cells. So now let me show you the diagram of the phloem. It's not coming.
Ma'am?
Yes, yes.
So can we say that in xylem's elements, only the xylem fiber is a non-living part and all the others are living?
Others are living. But see, children, the tracheids and vessels, they are very thick walled. Okay, so they are also helping, and they will be the tracheids and vessels. What you think, that they are the dead ones or the living ones?
Ma'am, living.
They will be the living ones. Okay, but because the fibers are there, so it appears the dead. Okay, it will be very hard, children.
Permanent tissues in plants.
So wood is, remember, technically the wood which we call it, children, it is the xylem only.
The cells of plants are grouped into tissues. These tissues can then be classified as either meristematic or permanent. Meristematic tissue, sometimes referred to simply as meristems, is a group of undifferentiated cells found in the growth zones of plants. Its cells are constantly dividing and producing new cells. Permanent tissues are composed of cells with a distinct shape. These cells will not divide any further. There are 2 types of permanent tissues in plants: simple and complex. Simple permanent tissues are composed of only one type of cell, but they can be further categorized as collenchyma, parenchyma, or sclerenchyma. If we were to look at a cross-section of a dicot stem, we would be able to recognize the first layer of the epidermis. Adjacent to the epidermis is the collenchyma, a layer of small, thick-walled cells. The cells are spherical, oval, or polygonal in shape. The cell wall is thickened at the corners, and intercellular spaces are absent. Parenchyma tissue is a part of the ground tissue in stems. The cells are oval.
Children, try to see this very carefully, because whatever type of the tissues we have studied, how they get organized in the plant body in different parts, this video will tell you. ओके दैट हाउ दे आर अरेंज, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि एक पार्ट में सिर्फ पेरेन्काइमा है, एक पार्ट में सिर्फ स्क्लेरेन्काइमा है. दैट इज नॉट देयर. इफ इट इज अ स्टेम, यू फाइंड एपिडर्मिस विल बी देयर. Below the epidermis, you have seen just now the collenchyma is there, and try to keep learning the features of the collenchyma. No intercellular space. Cell shape spherical, oval, or polygonal. Okay, then the walls are thickened at the corners. So these are very, very important features which you have to learn at any time. If someone asks, you should be able to tell. Now the parenchyma they are showing. Below the collenchyma, you find the parenchyma will be arranged in the stem. This is the cross section of the stem, children. Okay, so before starting with the phloem, quickly see this video. Then I'll take up the phloem. Xylem, where is it and how is it arranged? You will be seeing here. Okay, so last part is remaining phloem. So before starting with the phloem, quickly see the organization of this tissue. The different tissues in the plant part, that is the stem.
Round or polygonal, and there are intercellular spaces. The cells contain large vacuoles. Parenchyma containing chloroplasts is known as chlorenchyma. Sclerenchyma is a dead tissue. The cytoplasm in the cells will disintegrate while the cell wall thickens with lignin. Complex permanent tissues are composed of more than one cell type. Xylem and phloem are both complex permanent tissues. Xylem tissue includes tracheids and vessels, which are dead, hollow cells with sloping walls.
So now everyone try to see here and note down. The xylem consists of tracheids and vessels. Both are dead cells. I said just now, children, that xylem is technically wood. So when I said wood, wood is very hard. You all have seen that when you cut it, it is not having much of the water content. When it does not show the water content, it means that it does not have the protoplasm. When any cell, remember children, any type of question twist is asked, remember, if the protoplasm is not there, so no moisture will be there, and if protoplasm is not there, so then the cell will be called as dead. Until and unless the cell is dead, remember children, the lumen will not be empty. Lumen means this cavity. Is it clear to everyone now? Sayuja, you got it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if the cell will be living now, so then it will not have the empty cavity or the lumen. So transport of food or water will not be done. Okay, so these tracheids and vessels, they do not have inside it the protoplasm. So protoplasm constitutes the cytoplasm and all cell organelles, including nucleus. Okay, if it will be present, so it will not be hollow. So transportation will not be carried out. Okay, so now try to listen to this further.
Together, the tracheids And vessels form lengthy tubes that carry water from the roots to other parts of the plant. Phloem tissue is also composed of sieve tubes and companion cells. The sieve tubes are elongated cells joined end to end. The joints, known as sieve plates, have perforations, and the cytoplasm of the cells is continuous. Phloem transports organic food materials from the leaves to various parts. Summary: the permanent tissues of plants are either simple or complex.
So write down, children. We'll take up quickly the structure of the sieve tubes. You'll have seen just now how they are present in the stem and where they are present in the stem. So I'll take up the video once again, the other video. उसके पहले ये सब लिख लीजिए. So sieve tubes, they are the tube-like structures with perforated end plates. Perforated end plates. Now, perforated end plates means, children, that they have the fine pores, and these fine pores make it like a sieve. Make it like a sieve. वो छन्नी जैसा बन जाता है. So that is why these tubes are known as sieve tubes, because of the presence of perforated end plates, and these end plates are called sieve plates. Sieve plates, and they are placed one above the other. They are placed one sorry. This way they form a continuous tube-like structure. Now the second element is the companion cells. So they are involved cells, elongated. Elongated means that they are having the long structure. Okay, lengthwise they have the more length. So elongated help in maintaining the pressure. Help in maintaining the pressure sieve tubes. So try to understand, children. The sieve tubes are helping in the transport of the food. You can write down here the function: transports food. Only so in the phloem tissue, there is only one element which is helping in the transport of food, that is the sieve tube. The other elements are associated with it, and they help in just the supporting. So companion cells what play a very important role. They are thin walled cells. अगर sieve tubes के अंदर से food जा रहा है, उसमें pressure बढ़ रहा है, तो what will happen? It will diffuse into the companion cells. The water will diffuse into the companion cells, and that way the pressure will be maintained. or you will find that from the companion cells the water will move out and they will get the space. So they help this way, they help in maintaining the pressure in the sieve tubes. And the third member is what is the third one?
Parenchyma
Parent.
phloem.
Parenchyma.
Same that
Phloem
they are
parenchyma.
phloem parenchyma. So write down the same thing that they are associated with the sieve tubes and the companion cells and work is same. They help in storage of food. They help in storage of food. And the last one write down fibers. They provide mechanical support to the phloem tissue. They provide mechanical support to the phloem tissue. Everyone has completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So now tell me what was the last question given?
Name the elements of xylem.
Acha, I gave all the questions related to the previous all permanent tissues.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And why? What is the? What do you mean by the complex permanent tissue? Did I give that question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you can write down this question, children. So the complex permanent tissues related question. Only one I have given. That is name the.
Name the elements of xylem.
Elements of xylem.
Okay, okay. But I never gave that. What do you mean by complex permanent tissue?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So write down. So question number 1. What do you mean by complex permanent tissue? Okay, what do you mean by complex permanent tissue? So children, remember they are those permanent tissues which are made up of more than one type of cells. Everyone will be able to answer question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why you call this as the complex permanent tissue? Because they are those permanent tissues which are made up of
More than
More
one
than
type
one
of
type
cell.
of cell.
More than one type of cell.
more than one type of cells. Only that much you have to, and then just you write add up there, name them, name them. So what are those complex permanent tissues?
Xylem and phloem.
Xylem and phloem.
Just
And
name them.
epidermis.
Huh. Epidermis is complex. Epidermis is single celled, one layered, and made up of one type of cells, which is not a complex. Okay. Now, second question you write down. Describe the structure of xylem tissue. With a diagram. Noted, everyone?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
Number 3. Question number 3. Describe the structure of phloem tissue. With a diagram. So children, these diagrams, you have to make the same diagrams which are given in the textbook. The phloem diagram is there, where you will find the sieve tubes very clearly made with the sieve plates. So end plate is having those perforations, छोटे छोटे pores दिखेंगे through which the movement of the food will take place. So we have completed. That was the last question. One more you write down. Write the function of xylem and phloem tissue. Write the function of xylem and phloem. I hope all these questions are very clear to everyone.
yes, ma'am.
These all questions will be easily done in the fair notebook.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now everyone is having how many questions of this tissue chapter? Presently, how many questions are there in your fair notebook?
Ma'am, 15.
I'm 15.
15. Okay, so what is that 15th one?
Ma'am, this one. Write the function of xylem and phloem.
Acha, okay, including this one you are saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, okay, but how many written? Already done in the fair notebook?
11.
11.
Acha, 11 already. Okay, all the students have already written 11 questions in the fair notebook. Along with all the diagrams, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Diagram also
Yes,
done?
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
have got the parenchyma diagram, then collenchyma diagram, sclerenchyma diagram. Wherever you are writing the characteristic features of parenchyma, you have drawn opposite to it the diagram of parenchyma or not? Yes or no, children? अरे नहीं बनाया तो say no. Make it later. Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So don't worry, because now you all are not knowing biology में हर क्वेश्चन के साथ as far as possible I will say there should be a figure. All have noted? Should I stop sharing now, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So there should be a figure. And children, you open your textbook, you will get the diagram of parenchyma. You will be getting the diagram of sclerenchyma. You will draw the cross section. Don't make the longitudinal section. Make only the transverse section figures in your notebook. So parenchyma with the parenchyma answer, collenchyma with the collenchyma answer, and then same way the sclerenchyma. So the fiber is drawn in the book. You will draw that diagram. Okay, and then xylem and phloem is also given in the book. So same diagram. And if you find the xylem diagram difficult, you make the xylem elements which you have drawn that day in the lecture notebook. Clear to everyone now? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what you will be doing after completing these questions, children, you will be sending the PDF of the plant tissues only, because now next period I will start with the animal tissues. So before starting with the animal tissues, your plant tissues part should be complete. And in plant tissues, I have given how many questions total?
15.
15. Okay. Now one more question is there, children, that you note down. That is, describe the structure of epidermis. Describe the structure of epidermis and draw its diagram. Draw its diagram. So this now you will be reading in the textbook, you will search this answer and then you will write it. Okay, so where the parenchyma is given, there the diagram you will get it. Okay, the next question you write down. Where do you find stomatas? So stomatas, do you all know where they are present?
Ma'am, leaf.
On the leaf.
Leaves. So you will write down that they are present in the epidermis of the leaves. Okay, say they are present in the epidermis of leaves. So now we'll do Shanti part, children. Join your hands. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram, children. So you all read the textbook also, children, the plant tissues part, the whole thing. And then if you have any problem